fighting in Ukraine and the Russian region of Kursk has sharply increased in recent weeks. In Donetsk, in eastern Ukraine, the focal point of the whole war, Ukraine's been slowly yet steadily pushed back by advancing Russian forces. The center of Ukraine's resistance is the strategic town of Pokrovsk, an important rail and logistics hub. Russia needs to take the town if it wants to control the region, and it's vital for Ukraine to defend it. It's in this battle that the bulk of the Ukrainian and Russian armies have been deployed, grinding each other's forces down in a battle of attrition that has been extremely high in casualties. But it's in the southern Russian region of Kursk where the rapid escalation of the conflict has been most acute. Russia dramatically expanded the scope of the war by signing a mutual defense pact with North Korea in June, ratified by both countries in November. The treaty contains a mutual defense clause allowing a party to send any and all help if the other is attacked. Ukraine's incursion confirmed the presence of 10,000 highly trained North Korean soldiers that will be added to the tens of thousands of Russians already in Kursk. They'll be used to try and drive Ukraine out of Russia, denying Kyiv a much-needed bargaining chip in any future peace talks. Kim Jong-un will have sent his best soldiers, but the North Korean units, although individually tough, have no combat experience in a modern 21st century war. North Korea has already sent vast amounts of ammunition and large-caliber self-propelled artillery to Russia, as well as multiple rocket launchers and tactical missiles. Considering Pyongyang is receiving cash, food, and advanced military technology, it's likely to send a lot more soldiers to the war. There have always been foreign volunteers fighting for both Ukraine and Russia, but the West considers a large influx of troops from another country as a massively destabilizing move. And both sides are now escalating the conflict almost on a daily basis. President Joe Biden has already responded by allowing US-made tactical missiles to be used for the first time against targets within Russia. Shortly afterwards, Ukraine used 6 of these missiles to hit and destroy an ammunition dump in Bryansk. President Putin has been very clear that these sorts of strikes inside Russia using Western missiles would be a red line. And a day after Biden's lifting of the missile ban, Putin ratified a change in Russia's nuclear doctrine, lowering the threshold for the use of nuclear weapons. The main change being Moscow now considers an attack on Russia by a non-nuclear power aided by a nuclear power as an attack by that nuclear power, giving Putin the option to use nuclear weapons. While any use of nuclear weapons invites a nuclear response with the implied potential for global destruction, it is more likely Russia will conduct a nuclear test on its own soil, vividly reminding the world just how powerful these weapons are. At the old Soviet nuclear testing site of Novaya Zemlya, there's been recent activity not seen in years as new buildings and test infrastructure are put in place. The day after Putin's decree, Biden responded by permitting the use of anti-personnel mines by the Ukrainians, even though Ukraine is a signatory to the ban on their use. This will seriously complicate any Russian offensive in Kursk. The next day, Ukraine reportedly launched 12 Storm Shadow cruise missiles supplied by the UK in an unprecedented barrage against targets deep inside Kursk. The following day, Russia launched and tested a new advanced missile with multiple warheads, exclusively used for delivering nuclear weapons, as a reminder to everyone that Russia not only has nuclear weapons, but the ability to deliver them anywhere on Earth. It's this rapid escalation since Donald Trump won the US presidential election that has a danger of expanding the conflict, already the largest in Europe since World War II. For both Russia and Ukraine, time is running out before Trump assumes office in January and is likely to force a peace deal. They now have to seize as much territory as they can, and that means the fighting and dying on both sides is set to spike.